Hi, this is David from MyAEDs.com. In this video, we're going to show you the customer admin reports. One thing you need to understand is that there's two different types of accounts. One is an admin account, and one is a user or non-admin account. The admin account gets to see everything about that particular customer and their AEDs. And so in this particular view, this is an admin account we're logged into. They get the customer admin reports that are listed here. And they also get a few extra actions and things that they can do, which we'll cover in another video. So going through, there's some things called AED checks. These are the electronic documents that get generated periodically for each of your AEDs, asking some questions about the AEDs as to if they're in good working order. And you can see the open AED checks. They get generated periodically and stay open for about a month's time, and once that expires, they're no longer editable. So they're considered open during the time that you could edit them, and then the past AED checks are the ones that are no longer open that hopefully you've filled out and you can go see them. So we'll click on the open AED checks report, and you can see that a report comes up sort of in the center here. And so we've got two open AED checks currently for this customer, and these are the two summary records about them. The customer that we are logged in as, their admin is the customer name is Test Widgets. They've got these two reports, and we'll go in and edit one of them. The magnifying glass views the record, the pencil edits the record, so we're going to go in and edit this record. It tells you a little bit about the AED, so the customer, the location, who's the primary contact, where it's located at this site. If they've entered latitude and longitude, maybe that helps you find it in a large building, the make, the model, and the serial number. So you can just double check that you're looking at the right AED. And then there's 5 questions, whether the rescue ready indicator is green, yes or no, is there any visible damage, are the electrodes expired, are the spare pads expired, and is the battery expired? And if you answer any of those in a way that needs attention, like no for the indicator is green, or yes that there's visible damage, the folks at Team Life will get notified and may follow up with you about that. There's also a text box down here. If there's anything else that Team Life can provide for you, if you've got some questions or you have some issues with something else, you can put that into this text box. And then when you come down and save and exit, your information will be emailed to the Team Life folks. The Save and Exit button is grayed out right now because we've made no changes to the form. If we make any change to the form, then the Save and Exit button is enabled and you can end up clicking it. We're going to end up canceling out of this particular AED check. And so it takes you back to the previous screen, and then we can go look at our past AED checks. We've only got one past AED check that's loaded into this system. We can't edit it because it has closed already. It closed at the end of October. We can only view it. We can see some summary information here. We'll click on it and view it. So again, it's the same looking screen, just not editable. So you can see what the answers were to the questions. You can see when it closed. You can see some information about the AED. We can also see when the record was created and when the record was modified, who it was created by. The system ended up creating it, and it was modified by this particular user. So as these AED checks get created and you or your team are filling them out, the past AED checks list will grow further and further. Some of them may be completed. Maybe some of them you missed completing, and they'll remain incomplete. But you can see the history of all of your AED checks. We'll go back to the dashboard. Then there's a couple of reports about things that are expiring across all of your AEDs. Since you're the admin, you can see all of the AEDs that your business owns. And so the customer pads expiring report will look at any AEDs that have pads that are expiring according to the system in the next 3 months. So we'll click on this report. And we only have one which falls into this category. It looks like it's at the site called Branch Site, and its pads are expiring on March 1st, 2017. And so you can see it's also under a service plan, who the contact is, what the contact's email is. This is probably someone at the site, and their phone number just in case you need to contact them. And we can also go in and view or edit the record. So we can see we've got customer pads expiring record. It tells you it's at the branch site. If for some reason you say, well, this isn't at the branch site, you can actually move the AED and put it at a different site. You can actually correct some of the information that might be in the AED record. So if for whatever reason the AED pads are not expiring on March 1st, if you look at the expiration date and this for whatever reason is incorrect, you can come in here and you can correct it and give it the correct date. And then you'll get notified at that point when you can. So you see information about this AED. If you made any changes, you can save and exit. So we'll cancel out of that. The same types of reports for batteries expiring, which we don't have any batteries expiring in the next 3 months, or warranties on the AEDs expiring. Again, we don't have any of those expiring in the next 3 months either. You can see all of the customer AEDs, so all the AEDs that your business owns and that is in the system. And so you can see here this customer only has 2 AEDs. It tells you the make, the model, the serial number, what site they're located at, when they were purchased, when the pads expire, when the battery was installed, and what the service plan is, and who the contacts at those sites are, in case you need to contact them. You can also see use of the sites. So these are the 2 sites that this customer has in the system, the site name, the number of AEDs at that site, and the address. We can go in and we can edit a site record. And so we can edit the site name if we have a typo or we want to change the name of the site and the address, city and state and zip. We can change who the primary contact for this site is. So the primary contact will get notified in email if something's expiring. And so that's really the primary person at the site that's taking care of these AEDs. There's also the concept of other people at the site who are contacts but not the primary contact. And then there are other people who are in your business but not associated with this site. Maybe they're associated with other sites. And so the system kind of shows you a little bit of that down here. Contacts that are at this site, and so this person, Ann Brown, is also the primary contact. And then there's this person, Bob Smith, who's an other contact. They're not associated with the site, but they are a customer user of the system and listed in a contact. If we wanted to say that Bob Smith should be associated with this site, we could add the contact to the site. And he would just then get moved over to the contacts at this site. If Bob's no longer with that site, we can remove him from the site and say OK, and he moves back to an available contact list. But he still has a login in the system, and he still can be active in the system. Maybe he's associated with a different site. So you can change the primary contact to different people. If you have a new person coming in and they're going to be the primary contact, you can actually generate a new contract right here rather than doing it through some of the actions. And it'll open up a new tab, and then you can fill in the information for the new contact. We'll cover creating a new contact in another video. So that's editing a site. Let's cancel out of this. We made some changes, so it's asking us if we want to abandon it. So we can see the contacts, and then the last report we've got here are the ACD incidents. And we don't have any in the system, and we'll show you the details about that when in the next video when we talk about creating a new AED incident. An AED incident report is essentially if that AED gets used, you can fill out some information about the site, the AED, and really what the date was and what the incident was. And then the folks at Team Life get notified, and they may follow up with you about the incident and if anything needs to get done with the AED. So those are all the reports with the customer admin. We'll talk more in a subsequent video about the available actions for creating a new contact or a new user for your business, a new site possibly, and filling out an AED incident report. And then we'll also talk in future videos about a non-admin or just a user and the information and the reports that they can get to. So thanks very much for watching. This is David from MyAEDs.com.